Recorded Books Inspirational and One Click Digital present Leota's Garden by Francine Rivers, narrated by Melissa Hurst. One Click Digital provides free audiobook downloads in partnership with thousands of public libraries. To see if One Click Digital's extensive catalog is available to you, visit your library's website. And now, Leota's Garden.
Chapter 1. Corbin Salsick's heart dropped, and his stomach clenched tight when he saw the B on his sociology proposal. The shock of it made heat pour into his face and then recede in the wake of cold anger. He'd worked hard on this outline for his term project. He checked his information and sources, reviewed the methods by which he planned to present his ideas, and proposed a program. He should have received an A. What gives? Opening the folder, he glanced through the perfectly typed pages, looking for corrections, comments, anything that might give an indication of why he hadn't received what he knew he deserved. Not one red check anywhere. No comment, nothing. Stewing, Corbin flipped open his notebook, wrote the date, and tried to concentrate on the lecture. Several times, Professor Webster looked straight at him as he spoke, singling him out from the other 120 students inhabiting the tiers of desks. Each time, Corbin stared back for a few seconds before looking down and scribbling some more notes. He had great respect for Professor Webster, which made the grade even harder to take. I'll challenge him. I don't have to accept this without a fight. It wasn't a good proposal, it was excellent. He wasn't a mediocre student. He poured his heart and soul into his work, and he intended to make sure he was treated fairly. Hadn't his father instilled that in him? You have to fight for yourself, Corey. Don't let anybody kick you around. They kick you, kick 'em back harder. Knock 'em down and make sure they don't get up again. I didn't bring up my son to take any guff from anybody. His father had worked his way to the top of a trucking company through hard labor and fierce determination. He'd done it all, from truck driver to mechanic to sales to administration to CEO, and finally to part owner of the company. He was proud of his accomplishments, while at the same time embarrassed by his lack of formal education. He'd never gotten further than the sophomore year of high school. He'd quit to help support his mother and younger siblings after his father died of a massive heart attack. The same kind of heart attack that killed him the year after he retired, leaving a wealthy widow and 2 sons and a daughter with healthy trust funds. Focus on where you're going, his father had always said. Get into a good college, the best, if possible. Stick it out. Don't let anything or anyone get in your way. Get yourself a sheepskin from a big-name college, and you're halfway up the ladder before you have your first job. No way was Corbin going to accept this grade. He'd worked too hard. It wasn't fair. Did you have something to say, Mr. Salsick? Professor Webster stood staring at him from his podium. Corbin heard several students laugh softly. There was the rustle of papers and the creak of seats as others turned and looked back at him where he sat in the center middle row. Sir? Your pencil, Mr. Salsick, the professor said with an arched brow. This isn't a percussion instrument class. Corbin's face flooded with heat as he realized he'd been tapping his pencil while his mind raced in agitation. Sorry. He flipped it into the proper position for writing and aimed a quelling glance at 2 twittering co-eds. How did those airheads make it into Berkeley anyway? Are we ready to proceed then, Mr. Salsick? Professor Webster looked back at him with a faint smile. Embarrassment melted into anger. The jerk's enjoying this. Now Corbin had 2 reasons to feel indignant: the unfair grade and public humiliation. Yes, sir, any time you are. He forced a dry smile and a pretense of calm disdain. By the end of the lecture, the muscle in Corbin's jaw ached from tension. He felt as
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.